Hey students, welcome to another Mr. Ness screencast. Today's aim is location and place, and here are your objectives. Please pause the video, look these questions over, and get ready to copy some vocab terms and take some notes. The first term today is the subject of this class, human geography. You might remember that I said that geography is the study of where things happen and why, and we call that the why of where. Human geography is the why of where, but with human trends. Some of the issues that we'll look at from a spatial perspective in this class include wealth and poverty, migration, culture, industry, agriculture, and cities. And we will be organizing our topics into 5 broad themes, the 5 themes of human geography. And the 5 themes are movement, region, location, interaction between humans and the environment, and place. A helpful way to remember the 5 themes is through the acronym Mr. Lip. Imagine a guy with a huge lip, and that is our 5 themes of human geography. We're going to go over each of the 5 themes over the next few days, but today we're going to focus on just 2 of them, location and place. So let's start with location. Location means the position on the Earth's surface. In other words, it means where exactly something is. There are 2 types of location, and the first is called absolute location. Absolute location is the exact scientific location of a place on Earth given through coordinates of latitude and longitude. You do not have to know how to read latitude and longitude from a map in order to do well on the AP exams or any of my exams. But to explain quickly, latitude lines go across the globe and measure distance north and south of the equator, while longitude lines go up and down the globe and measure distance east and west of a line called the prime meridian. Looking at the map, Los Angeles, for example, is located at about 30 degrees north and 120 degrees west. In the modern day, absolute location is determined by a network of satellites called a global positioning system, or GPS. Global positioning system. The more common type of location is the other kind. It's called relative location. And that is a place's location in relation to other places. Relative location is always given with 2 cardinal directions, with north or south first, and then east or west. You don't need to know relative location for the AP exam either, but I do want you to know it for my class because it's a basic life skill for giving people directions. So let's take a look at this map. Here's our question. Where is Los Angeles relative to Paris? All right, I want you to pay close attention now because you're going to have to practice this in class, and there are always some students that have trouble with it. Here's what you do. Start with the second city mentioned, so that's Paris. Then imagine you were going to travel from Paris to the first city, which is Los Angeles. First, we start with north or south. Ask yourself, to go from Paris to LA, do I go north or south? Looking at the map, the answer is south. Now, ask yourself, to go from Paris to LA, do you need to go east or west? And you'll see that the answer is west. So, our final answer is Los Angeles is southwest of Paris. All right, let's look at the other theme for today, and that is place. Place refers to the natural and man-made characteristics of a location that make it unique, and we call this uniqueness a sense of place. Imagine that you were blindfolded and taken to a faraway location. The blindfold is removed, and you have to guess where you are. What would you do? You might look at your surroundings. You'd ask yourself if there's mountains, is it hot, is it humid, are you near an ocean? So those are the natural features of a place that make it unique. But you could also look at the man-made characteristics. What language are the signs around you in? What do houses look like? Are there any skyscrapers? As you tried to look around you and figure out where you were, you'd be looking at the characteristics that make a location different from other ones. The characteristics that give that location a sense of place. And that's what place is all about. Geographers identify two ways of discussing place: site and situation. These two terms are must-knows for the AP exam. Let's start with site, which refers to the physical attributes of a location. Site is characterized by land, labor, and capital. Land is the most common site factor you'll see in this class. It refers to the physical geography of a place, including its landscape, its water sources, and its climate, the natural resources that are available, like oil or coal, and the cost of the land. So to sum up, site is the physical attributes of a location, the things or characteristics that are found in that location. Situation, on the other hand, refers to the relationship of one location to its surroundings or to other locations. Unlike site, situation is always discussing one location in terms of its relationship to other ones. All right, let's do some practice to help you distinguish between site and situation. This description of Chicago identifies something unique about Chicago. The question is it referring to Chicago's site or its situation? Review the terms before you answer. All right, if you said site, you are correct, and that's because this description is talking about Chicago's natural resources, something that is special about the land. Now let's look at another statement about Chicago. Same question here. Is this sentence describing Chicago's site or situation? Here, the answer is situation, because the sentence was describing Chicago's location in relation to other places, in this case, the Great Plains and the East Coast. Did you know that Chicago is an extremely strategically located city? We'll talk more about Chicago later in the year. All right, two more words that are related to the idea of place. The first is toponym, which means a place name. Another way to say this is the name of a place. A toponym is just the name of a location on Earth. It could be the name of a country, a city, a mountain range, a river, a neighborhood, a park, or a street. However, we do not consider the name of a business to be a toponym. So, Brooklyn is a toponym, but Burger King is not. Toponyms are important because they are the names of geographic places, but they are also the creations of human beings. And therefore, they reflect the specific people or peoples that have lived in a specific location. They're like clues that tell us which cultures have been present there. Toponyms are something that make a location unique and help us distinguish one location from another. And your last word is sequent occupance. This is a fancy geography term that you'll probably never use in your lifetime, but it might appear on the AP exam. Sequent occupance is the idea that successive societies leave their mark on a landscape, allowing us to see the history of a certain location. Look at this picture of Cairo, Egypt. You can see the structures built by different cultures throughout history. In the background are the pyramids built by ancient Egyptians. In the middle ground are houses and smaller buildings that were probably built during the 1800s when Egypt was colonized by the British. And in the foreground are large apartment buildings built just in the last few decades. So in this picture, we can see layers of history. All right, it's time to review the objectives. If you don't know any, just rewind the video and look again. And I will see you in class. Bye, students.